Welcome to One Tired Teacher, episode 155. How can second graders celebrate Black History Month? So today on the podcast, we're going to talk about, we're kind of going to do a little resource review. We're going to look at a resource that I have available for you, and it's a Black History Month lap book bundle. And we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to look at how we can use this in our classrooms to teach Black history, because it's such an important time and there's so many things that we can cover, and we can help students to better understand the lives and cultures of all people that we come into contact with and that we should come into contact with. And that is all different kinds of people from all over the world. And this is a special month. We're getting ready to go into the month of February, which is when we celebrate Black History Month. We should be celebrating Black history all the time, but we have set aside a special month to draw attention to some things that our students should know. So I hope that you will stick around.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Debery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Debery.
Hey. So we're going to talk about Black History Month. So we're doing like a product or a resource review so that you can kind of see, is this something that I can use in my classroom? And even if you don't decide that that's for you, there's another way around that. And that is for you to, instead of gathering the resource that I have for you, you can create pages and you can find names or brainstorm some ideas of different special Black Americans that you want to, or it doesn't even have to be American. I think it is that is part of what we're doing in America. But anyway, people that have contributed to our country and to our world. And I think it's a good idea to investigate and to be very careful of the things that you're finding, because sometimes we want to make sure that we are finding things that are true and factual and that give us information that isn't just based on different ideas and based on someone's opinion, that it's actually based on facts. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But you can always do that with, blank pieces of paper or notebook paper or, things like that. I have put it in a cute little lap books thing or format so that kids can show what they know, and it's creative and it's fun and it's also a great little display, but you don't have to do it that way. You are free to do it however you want. So let's talk about it. So Black History Month is an annual celebration of the heritage and achievements of African Americans. It is also a time where we recognize the key roles in our Black and brown brothers and sisters that they've played in the United States history. And not only does Black History Month promote diversity, it celebrates diversity. That's the thing that I love about it. Now, I would see classrooms, at different degrees celebrating Black History Month. And as the media specialist, it was important to make sure that I had resources available for students. I kind of feel that way all the time, though. I feel like that should be a part of our everyday life, that everybody should be represented so that kids can see themselves in the achievements and lives of others. So I think that that's an important thing to keep in mind. Promoting diversity is bringing awareness to the idea that we are all diverse and that we all have something to contribute. But when we celebrate diversity, we are conveying the idea that diversity is beautiful. That's one of my favorite parts. A celebration goes beyond recognizing the achievements of African Americans. It publicly honors these men and women. It tells their wonderful stories in a way that makes us realize how they have truly impacted our lives. How our lives would not be the same if these people did not take risks to accomplish amazing things. So let's talk about what that might look like in a second grade classroom. And I first want to say that celebrating Black History Month, it unites us. And right now, it's so important to feel like we're united and that we are not in this divisive situation where it's, this person and that person and my side and your side and I think this and you think that. And we have some commonalities, and I think it's important not to erase each other's backgrounds and histories, and it's important for us to learn about one another because we all bring something different to the table. And so I don't mean that at all. I don't mean to erase that, because that's not what I feel. I think it's important for kids to understand that we have differences and that differences are part of who we are. So one idea is to study specific people. Now, I created a Black History Month lap book. Why can't I say that? Lap book for several influential African Americans, but they're usually the common people that you hear about, like Jackie Robinson and Harriet Tubman. And I have these bundled in my store. There's also an option to choose a person of color that means something to your second grader. So maybe they want to pick a Black or brown uncle or aunt, or somebody that's contributed to their family as well. Someone that's contributed maybe even further than that. Maybe they've done something really special and they want to highlight that, or they've made an impact and it's important to share. So I like to have open-ended choices so that people don't have to go to the same people that we hear about again and again, that we recognize just a multitude of people. And that's probably the option I love the most. And it can be done for anyone. This lap book takes students through the research and writing process, and it allows them to have a creative, display to show others and to teach others what they've learned. Which brings me to the next way that we can celebrate Black History Month, and that is through many presentations on great Black and brown Americans. Lap books keep your students' ideas and collections in one place. This makes it much easier to use in a presentation. It makes it a lot less threatening. It allows students to present to maybe their teams instead of presenting to the whole class. That's one way of making that less threatening and giving that more of a safe environment. Maybe even presenting to a partner that they trust. That can also be, I can remember so many times that I had them, standing up and they were doing their biography report, and they were terrified. I don't want that for kids. We don't want them to be terrified. We want them to practice speaking and listening skills for sure. Those are standards we have to cover, but we can also do that in a smaller group so it doesn't have to feel so frightening. Just something to think about. Another idea is to go beyond the history books. We actually want to go beyond the history books because we know some of the history books were written from a white person's perspective, or a person that didn't even experience this. It's their perspective. So it's hard not to bring your own perspective into what you're writing, even when you're trying to be strictly factual. So that's something to keep your mind on. So going beyond the history books, which is why I love this option. That's why I like the option to choose. But often we leave our lesser known figures that have accomplished incredible things. We often leave them out. And if we go beyond the history books, we can find people that we're all worthy. Everybody's worthy. And so there are so many other people to talk about. Even if you do choose books from school, you can always go beyond the book and dig a little more into the lives of these incredible people. All of this work is so important for our children. It helps us understand the importance of our stories. Black History Month is about sharing and celebrating the stories of countless men and women who made a difference in our world. Some achievements are noted more than others, but all of their stories reveal how they changed the world and how we can too. If you are interested in my Black History Month lap book, I have a link to it to my shop on TPT. There's a few pictures on the blog page of the podcast that you can check out as well. And I hope that gives you a starting point and that you celebrate this very important month with some good history and some recognizing some really incredible people. I hope that helps. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Until next time, sweet dreams and sleep tight.